You know what that is? That's chimney ruins from an old house site. You can see some bricks in here. I just found another one. I didn't even know this one was here. I was heading back to the truck and I guess I went a different way than the original path I came in. This place looks really old. I haven't even swung my detector around it yet. So, maybe we'll find something neat. I'm not going to go home now. I'm going to dig around this place for a little bit. Looks very cool. And I'll tell you how I found it. There's a creek down there, and I was crossing the creek, and I walked up the hill, and there was like a little dirt spot. And in that dirt spot, I found a piece of pottery. So I was like, that's weird. And so I walked up the hill, and that's when I saw this. I don't think this place has ever been dug. I just got an 84 signal here and dug down 2 inches deep. Check out what it is. It looks like a little belt buckle. Oh, wow. That is awesome. Let's go find some more. Here's the creek. There's all kinds of stuff down here. They'd come here and wash their clothes and get water, I bet you. There's a brick right over here. Didn't notice that earlier. Just found a rain scad. That's pretty neat. It was only down 4 or 5 inches deep. I still think somebody may have dug here. There's not too many targets, but there is still stuff in the ground. House is just right up there. I just walked about 20 feet and got another mid-80s signal. Looks like a rain scad as well. Yep. Nice. I think we're getting on to something. I dug that rain scad right there, and I got a 70 signal right here. And here it is. Looks like some type of brooch. It's really old. It's made out of brass. It may have something on there. It's hard to tell. Nice. A lot of stuff in this little area. I'm going to work it hard. Well, I'm out here in the creek now doing some sluicing. Got my sluice box set up, and I've been digging around in the creek trying to find a good area where there may be some gold. The water's not really moving that fast in this creek since we haven't had much rain lately. So I had to put some rocks together and kind of get the current moving in one direction here. But I think that will work. I've already sifted out some material from a couple different areas in the creek. I dug right here just around the edge of the water line, and there's some really good hard packed clay in there mixed in with quartz rock. And I also did a little bit of digging right here in the middle of the creek. So hopefully we'll manage to find a couple pieces of gold today. You never know. You have to look through these rocks to make sure there ain't no gold on them. I sifted all these out so far. Let's get to shoveling dirt in the sluice box. We ain't going to get no gold if we don't put no dirt in there. Good concentrated material. One little scoop at a time. The reason I classify the material out is because it makes it a lot easier to go through that sluice box. I mean, you can just dig dirt out of the creek with huge rocks in it and throw it in there. That's fine. That's not a problem. But them big rocks will clog it up. So when you're sluicing, it's a lot easier if you sift through all the material first, classify it down to a smaller size, and I use 1/4 inch screen there. I don't like 1/2 inch. 1/4 is just the right size, not too big, not too small, kind of in the middle. And I classify all the rocks down, wash the clay off of them. That's one thing the sluice box doesn't do very well. If you throw a rock in there with a bunch of clay on it, it will sit there for 10 minutes and still have clay on the side. So it's good to wash them off with your hands and get all that material through a screen and down in the bucket. And you just take that concentrated material and shovel it in the sluice box little by little. One thing you need to remember when you're sluicing or dredging is that the tailing pile is going to build up at the end of your sluice box, and it's going to get higher and higher. And if you don't move those tailings, they'll end up backing up in your sluice and it'll mess everything up. So you don't want that. So what you need to do is every now and then just kind of dig you a hole and scrape away all those tailings. And the tailings are just a light material anyway. There shouldn't be any gold in your tailing pile. And if there is, then your sluice box isn't set up properly. It's also good to just pan out your tailings just to make sure there's no gold in it, because you don't want your gold washing out your sluice box and going back into the creek. That's never good. All your gold should be caught in there, right behind those ripples, and in that carpet, and some of it will even get caught in the clay from the rocks. So we'll slowly just pour the water in here and clean off these rocks. Now make sure the rocks don't have any clay on them before you throw them out, because sometimes that gold will get caught in that clay. So it's good to clean off the rocks. Nice quartz rock. It's a good sign. There could be gold here. There's a rock. Put that in the screen. That's a nice light green one too. Very cool. A little bit of concentrated material. We'll go put that in the sluice box. Alrighty, getting ready to head on home, so cleaning up the sluice box. Gotta take that carpet out. Alright, get my gold pan. The goal is to get all the material in the bucket without losing any. Sometimes it's hard to do. I think we got most of it. Wash off everything really good. Alright, that's clean. We're going to leave the carpet in the bucket. We'll just wash it out a little bit and then drain the water so we can carry it back to the house. I'm back at the house. Here's all my finds from the hunt. We'll start out with the gold. Found a little bit, not a whole lot, but I got about 7 little pieces of gold there. I don't know if you can see them, but I tried to group them up in one little area so they'd show up better on the camera. There could be more in there. I just panned it out one time. I didn't go through it multiple times to make sure I got it all out the black sand. But I will keep the concentrates and go through them another day. Here's some of the detecting finds I found at that old house site. Got 2 range guides. This is a cool little brooch of some type, I guess. It's made of brass. Have to clean it up a little bit later. That's a piece of pewter. There's a piece of lead there as well. And that cool little buckle. I think that place has been dug because that's all I found. I'll have to go back in the winter when it's not as grown up. Here's a little piece of flint. I thought it could have been related to Native American somehow. They could have chipped that off and could have been trying to make an arrowhead. Who knows? This right here, I've dug these before. I found a bunch of them at a textile mill, and I think they're little brass spindle pieces. They go on the end of wood spindles for like yarn and string and stuff they'd use in the textile mills. Today's Bible verses are from Matthew chapter 22, verses 37 through 40. And Jesus said to him, "You shall love the Lord your God with all your heart, and with all your soul, and with all your mind. This is the great and first commandment. And the second is like it. You shall love your neighbor as yourself. On these two commandments depend all the law and the prophets." Next little verse I have to show y'all is Romans chapter 8, verse 28. And it says, "And we know that for those who love God, all things work together for good, for those who are called according to His purpose." Thanks for watching. Y'all have a good one. God bless.